Dear students, in this session, I will explain the stability factor. Stabilization is the process of making the operating point independent of temperature variation or variation in the transistor parameters. The stabilization can be measured by a factor called stability factor. There are three types of stability factor. First one, temperature stability factor. Second one, voltage stability factor. Third one, current amplification factor stability. First one, temperature stability factor. The temperature stability factor or stability factor is defined as the ratio of change of collector current delta IC with reverse saturation current, keeping beta and VB constant. That means ST, that means stability factor is defined as the ratio of change of collector current with reverse saturation current, keeping beta and VB. For greater stability, the stability factor should be small. For CE configuration, the total collector current is given by IC equals beta IB plus 1 plus beta into ICO. Differentiate with respect to IC with beta as constant. 1 equals beta delta DIB divided by DIC plus 1 plus B delta IC divided by delta ICO. Therefore, 1 minus beta DIB divided by DIC equals 1 plus beta into 1 by ST. Therefore, stability factor ST equals 1 plus beta divided by 1 minus beta DIB by DIC. Second one, voltage stability factor. It is defined as the ratio of change of IC with VBE. Change of IC means with delta IC with VBE delta VBE. That means keeping ICO and beta constant. Therefore, SV equals suffix V means voltage stability factor. So, SV equals delta IC divided by delta VBE, that's equals delta IC divided by delta VBE. Next, third one, current amplification factor stability. It is defined as the ratio of collector current IC. It is defined as the ratio of change of collector current IC, delta IC, with beta keeping VBE and ICO constant. With beta, VBE and ICO as constant. That means SB equals delta IC divided by delta beta, that's equals delta IC by delta beta. Delta beta. Consider the equation IC, IC equals beta IB plus 1 plus beta into ICO. IC equals beta IB plus ICO beta ICO. I am multiplying the ICO into 1 plus beta. Differentiate with respect to IC with the ICO as constant. 1 plus, therefore 1 plus DIB plus IB delta B divided by delta IC plus 0 plus ICO delta beta divided by delta IC. Therefore 1 minus beta into delta IB divided by DIB divided by DIC, that's equals IB plus ICO into delta B divided by delta IC. Therefore 1 minus beta into DIB by DIC, that's equals IB plus ICO into 1 plus 1 divided by delta B. Therefore SB equals SB equals IB plus ICO divided by 1 minus beta into DIB by DIC.